Concerns over terrorism once again taking center stage throughout 2016. On New Year's Day, a man opens fire at a popular Tel Aviv bar. The attack leaves 2 Israeli men dead and several others injured. An ISIS-inspired attack, this time in France, having far deadlier results. A man intentionally drives a cargo truck into crowds celebrating Bastille Day in the resort town of Nice. 87 people were killed, including the suspect, who was gunned down by police. ISIS also claiming responsibility for a coordinated terror attack in Belgium. 2 men blew themselves up at the Brussels airport, while another explosion took place about an hour later at a train station. More than 30 people were killed in the bombings and hundreds more were injured. By autumn, Iraqi forces were leading the fight to retake Mosul from the Islamic State. Troops taking heavy fire and facing suicide bombs as they go block by block, trying to remove ISIS militants from Iraq's second largest city. Also in the Middle East, the civil war in Syria continues to drag on. The U.S., along with rebel groups, are working to defeat the militants, but Russia complicating the situation by launching airstrikes against both ISIS and rebel forces. The fighting leading to an ongoing humanitarian crisis. Millions of civilians have been forced from their homes and have tried to leave the country, while others remain trapped in Syria without reliable access to food or medicine. In other news, earthquakes rattle various parts of the globe. In February, a magnitude 6.4 tremor hit Taiwan, killing more than 100 people. 2 months later, Ecuador is hit with a magnitude 7.8 tremor, leaving more than 600 people dead. And Italy is plagued with multiple quakes throughout the year, with the largest one killing nearly 300 people in August. In Turkey, thousands of people are arrested or removed from their positions after a failed coup attempt. During the coup, more than 230 people were killed and thousands more were injured. In Cuba, it's the end of an era as longtime leader Fidel Castro dies at the age of 90. Castro ruled the island nation of 11 million people for nearly 5 decades. In Mexico, a notorious drug kingpin, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, is captured after spending months on the run. Lawyers for El Chapo spend months fighting his extradition to the U.S. to face a variety of drug-related charges. North Korea continuing its provocations as the communist regime conducts multiple nuclear and missile tests. The United Nations Security Council condemning the country's actions, but Pyongyang has shown no indication it plans to curb its nuclear ambitions. The Zika outbreak making headlines all over the world this year, with South America being particularly hard hit. More than 100,000 confirmed cases of the virus have been reported in Brazil alone. There is no cure for Zika, which is transmitted by mosquitoes. Brazil also in the spotlight in 2016 as Rio de Janeiro hosts the Summer Olympics. More than 11,000 athletes from about 200 nations taking part in the 2-week-long event in August. Brexit sending shockwaves around the world, voters in the United Kingdom choosing to leave the European Union. The decision leading to a change in government in the UK, with David Cameron stepping down and Theresa May taking his spot as Prime Minister. And the Catholic Church naming a new saint. Mother Teresa is canonized by Pope Francis in recognition of her work with the poor in India. She's now known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Turning to next year, the world will be watching to see what President-elect Donald Trump does when he takes office in January. It's a story that's sure to make headlines across the globe throughout 2017. In London, Greg Palkot, Fox News.